Hello and welcome to Inside Ethiopia. Stay tuned. Ethiopia was one of the greatest nations of all the time with magnificent historical background dating 3,000 years back. We are definitely heading back to the right track of the greatness once we were. A second chance for the start of this greatness began the day our intelligent premier takes office. Ethiopia's worst enemy that frozen the economic, political and social development of the country was Tigray People's Liberation Front TPLF that was continuously in power for exactly 27 years. When this intelligent Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed of ours came to power on April 2018, then Ethiopia started to get rebirth. In another second chance indeed.
Ethiopia ማህፀነ ለምለም ናት ከፍ ባለ የሀገር ፍቅር መንፈስ ሰርክ የሚተጉ ልጆች አፍርታለች ልጆቿም ወደ ቀድሞ ክብሯ እንድትመለስ የህዝቧ ሰላምና ፍትህ እንዲጠበቅ ብልጽግና ያለ አድሎ ለመላው ዜጎቿ ይዳረስ ዘንድ አጥብቀው ይመኛሉ
With his astonishing skills of conflict resolutions, our Prime Minister managed to create peace among Eritrean brother nation of ours, which made him a Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2019. And on November 4, 2020, these TPLF members were able to attack the National Defense Force stationed in northern region of the country, which sees these terrorist and dictator TPLF leaders solely wanted to go back to power to be dictators once they were.
When a wave of popular protests swept Ethiopia and ushered a new political dispensation in April 2018, one of the key pillars of the reformist agenda of my new administration was upholding the rule of law. However, a key challenge we faced in this regard from the early days was the organized and highly networked obstruction of justice that was being orchestrated by those who played a leading role in the systemic abuse of human rights and massive corruption. Intent on perpetuating a culture of impunity and restoring the undue privilege they enjoyed in the past, the TPLF old guards have continuously mounted both covert and overt attempts to undermine the people of Ethiopia and our new administration. Behind conflicts that have resulted in the suffering and the deaths of many Ethiopians in the past 2 years, close observers of Ethiopian politics could clearly see the influence of the TPLF clique. They sponsored, trained, and equipped any force that was willing to engage in violent and illegal acts to derail the transition.
Given all the maladministration and human rights abuse caused by the TPLF junta, they were overthrown from power nearly 3 years back, with shame and fear of tomorrow at the same time made the members of this TPLF leave Addis Ababa, the nation's capital, once and for all. Since TPLF left Addis, they start to perpetrate displacement of a large number of people, creating racial clashes, which they found it to be pretty large. And they also started to assassinate public figures, political officials, the country's mega project chairman, well-known artists to intentionally sabotage the federal government, which TPLF's conspiracy caused a number of civilians to lose their lives and billions of worth Ethiopian bear property to be damaged.
የጠላቶቻችን ፍላጎት የጀመርነው ስራ እንዳይሳካ የኦሮሞ ህዝብ ከሌሎች ብሔሮች ጋር በዚሁ ምክንያት እንዲባላ እንዲጋደል ደም እንዲቃባ የጀመርነው ጉዞ እንዲደናቀፍ
After being the root cause of all these damages, this terrorist junta group TPLF managed to attack the National Defense Force. And they even tried to create civil war, committing genocide, and for the Prime Minister has to ensure peace and order in the country, he started law enforcement operations throughout the country, which left us all Ethiopians to feel happy and protected from those killer junta TPLF. Without trying to investigate as a professional media house what was going on, the international community, be it the media houses, started to write articles saying Nobel Prize winner did this and that, which is totally unacceptable. They gave him the Nobel Prize to keep the country stable and also peaceful, which he does that exactly in civilized, democrat, lawful, and considerate fashion, which the operation ended handcuffing 95% of the leaders and mastermind behind TPLF.
9 members of the TPLF leadership, including the group's infamous old guard, Subhat Negga, have been flown to Addis Ababa today. The 9 individuals were apprehended in the past couple of days during a joint military manhunt by the Ethiopian Defense Forces and the Federal Police in Tigray's hills and bushes. These members of the warmongering clique were seen handcuffed while arriving in Addis Ababa.
When there was unrest in USA a couple of days ago in the capital, the media houses all over the world reported as if it was just a social disorder, which the chaos claimed the lives of 5 individuals.
Overcome the police. The police are now running back into the Capitol building. We have cheers from the protesters that are watching behind the scenes. This is incredible.
Tonight, hundreds of law enforcement officers have now mobilized across Washington, D.C. While there were skirmishes earlier, the big clash started when some in the crowd challenged Capitol Police and eventually broke through security. This shows security forces inside the U.S. House with guns drawn as the mob tried to make their way inside. Again, a curfew is now in effect, and the National Guard is being deployed from at least 2 states to help bring peace.
But if the same situation would have happened to poor countries in the world rather than UAs or else, all the media houses call it war, or they will immediately start to call for interventions, or they will tirelessly start to defame the name of that given country, which is definitely unfair. So given all the reasons here, when writing story, try to understand both sides. And when a story is listened by a given individual, one truly needs to balance from the 2 sides as well. The case is now vice versa. Do not try to shove the name Africa in whenever a dictator shows up. And now in our Ethiopia, we demand a second Nobel for our civilized and thoughtful Prime Minister. Thanks for staying with us. Have a good one. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe our channel.